Good morning, everybody. Glad to see you here. It is 10:45 in the morning, Mountain Time. This is a little later start than usual for me. I did do some adjustment with the sound, and so I'm hoping that will work. It sounds like that's working. Good. Some of you guys told me yesterday that the sound was really, really bad, and you kept telling me, and I thought, well, yeah, I know it is kind of bad, but I did not realize how ridiculously bad it was. So today I did a lot of tweaking and playing and seeing what I could do to make things better. So I think we're in good shape now. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. What the agenda is going to be messages for tomorrow, which will be the 27th. And then we'll do Reiki for 5 minutes, and then I'll answer any questions that you guys might have for me. Okay, so let's get started. Aries for the Friday the 27th. Aries, what I'm hearing is you're going to be having interactions with a lot of people, more people than you usually do. Slightly more is what I'm hearing. And I think that these interactions are going to be important. They feel like they have to do with talking with bosses or bosses or with potential new clients, somebody that has some influence over your income. Is what I feel like you're going to be having some interactions with, more interactions than usual with on the 27th. And I feel like this is good for you. I feel like the mood on this is very serious. I think you're taking other people seriously and other people are taking you seriously as you're having these interactions. So calm, logical, peaceful, well thought out interactions between you and these other people. This feels like a really nice, productive type of energy for me for you. Tomorrow, Aries. Now, Taurus. Hello there, Lisa. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my dear. Actually, where you are, it's not even good morning. It's good afternoon. Taurus. Let's move on to Taurus. Must be a day of interactions. I'm hearing they have interactions too. I feel like your interactions are the more significant ones that are going to get your attention are going to have to do more with your personal life than with your work life, Taurus. These are going to be interactions for most of you with significant others or if not significant others, I'm really feeling like not so much romantic interest. So if these interactions are not with significant others, then they are probably going to be more along the lines with family that's important to you or tribe that's important to you. You know, people who are not blood related, but who are very close. So personal interactions are going to be important for you on the 27th. And it's going to be either significant other or blood family or close friends that you would consider like family. And once again, these interactions are very much like the Aries actions. I think that these are going to be serious, well thought out interactions. And I think you guys are planning or working on something together. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Gosh, it's the strangest feeling. I feel like you just want to go undercover the 27th. Like I'm almost feeling like just sinking under the desk and just not being seen by people. This is more of just you are really wanting some quiet time to sort of I started to say to sort of think things through, but I think that's a little part of it, but I think also there's some kind of wound that you're kind of nursing, something that has hurt your pride or hurt your ego or hurt your heart in some cases that, you just don't really want to be around people right now until you've processed and come to some kind of terms with something that's happened, Gemini. I feel that's not an easy message to give you guys. I'm sorry that you're feeling like that. On the 27th, Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Hello there, everybody. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Cancer on the 27th. Cancers, I think that you are working on your security on the 27th. That's going to be the priority and the focus for you is how can I bring more security into my life? Now, security is an interesting word because people pull security from different things. For some people, security comes from being in a relationship, being part of a couple. For other people, security comes from, having a house where they have shelter. For other people, security comes from, having a cell phone so they know that they can reach people in an emergency, or, having a vehicle so that they can get back and forth to work if they don't live in a place where you can take a bus or a train or whatever. So security can come from a lot of different places. And so this is going to manifest in different ways for you, but definitely the focus is going to be on security. Some of you may be planning, okay, how am I going to handle my retirement? What am I doing about finances so that I have finances when I want to retire, so that I actually can retire and I don't have to work till the day I die? For some of you, that's what it's going to be about, that kind of security. But definitely, I feel like whatever this is you're doing, this is setting that foundation. So this is not like putting the final cherry on the cake for you guys. This is just starting to lay in that foundation for security for you for something that's more long-term, Cancer. All right, Leos, what are you going to be focusing on? We have on the 27th. You guys are so funny. I got a picture of a bonfire for you day before yesterday, a campfire for you yesterday. Let's see what happens today for Leos. Leos, I think you're expanding your social networks today. I think that you are reaching out, meeting new people, making new friends. This is an interesting feeling that I have for, I think, not only your social network, but even your support network is expanding. You're finding people that you really can rely on and trust and would be there for you, that, you wouldn't mind being there for them too. So expanding your support network, expanding your social network comes in really strong for you guys on the 27th, Leos. It feels good. It feels very empowered. Virgos, 27th, Virgos. You guys, I don't even know what to think here. Let me sort this out. So what I was shown was a huge, like, concrete or stone wheel just grinding like grain, like flour or something. So, okay. So I think you're refining something in your life, like that wheat is being refined into flour. So I think the 27th, you're going to be really focusing on refining something in your life, on putting in the fine tuning and tweaking something, whether you're tweaking your performance for a play, or whether you're, fine tuning your 401k, or whatever it is for you, Virgo. There's definitely, you're refining something. You're making it more specific. You're making it something that is more efficient and that works better for you. And that's going to be a big focus during a good portion of your day. Libras, what's next for Libras on the 27th? You guys are so funny. I always hear fairness, making things even, something like that whenever I look at Libras. It's like you guys have a one-track mind. Everything has to be fair and even. That seems to be the focus every single day. Let's see what else I can find out for you guys here. Let's see, Libras. I feel like you're really paying attention to your work on the 27th. That's a Friday. Yeah. I feel like you're really paying attention to your work. Seems to me like there may be like a new boss or a new influencer. Let's say a new influencer around. Maybe this person isn't technically a boss. And I feel like if there's not a new influencer that's a person around, there are new influences coming into play or new policies coming into play at work. And I think you're really watching how this goes down. You're watching how it plays out. You're keeping a good eye on it. And you're looking at, how can I make sure that this is something that I can use for my advantage and not something that, really is a problem? How can I take this and use it to help me move forward? So that's a cool thing. Libra, Libra, Scorpios, Scorpios. The first thing I feel for me right off the bat is a tightness in the chest. And for me, when I get a tightness in the chest, what that means is that there is something that is potentially mildly dangerous around. And when I say potentially and mildly dangerous, whenever Sacred Spirit first taught me this signal, this particular part of my spirit language, and I first had that tightness in my chest, I was out walking not far from my home down near a creek, and I got that tightness in my chest, and I thought, what does that mean? And I took my next step, and I looked down at where my foot was, and there was this baby snake that just crossed like right under where my foot stepped down, right before I put my foot down. And it was just a baby snake. It wasn't, anything big. And so it probably could not have hurt me, but it did startle me. So this is something that really is probably not all that dangerous. It's coming in for us on the 27th, but it may startle us. It may shake us up a little bit whenever we first see what happens. And it may happen like in a flash. So just keep your eyes open for something startling that may throw you. And then once you actually realize what's happened, you realize, oh, it really wasn't a dangerous thing. It just sort of seemed like it. Okay, so Sagittarius, what am I feeling for you guys? Sagittarius on the 27th. It's an odd thing to hear. So whenever I was feeling about you guys, I heard we have no milk. For some of you, you will literally be running out of milk. For some of you, this is going to be more symbolic. For me, milk and honey. I think about the land of milk and honey. When I think about milk or honey, either one, that's promised to the Jewish people in the Bible, and how that was a symbol of prosperity when there was plenty of milk and there was plenty of sweetness, plenty of honey. And so I think that Sagittarius, you're going to be really looking for what it is that makes you feel fulfilled, what it is that makes you feel satisfied. I am hoping that for most of you, this is not on a very physical level, much more on a spiritual or emotional level, that you're looking for that milk. You're looking for that thing that makes you feel satisfied and that makes you feel fortified and strengthened. So I feel like as Sagittarians, you may be feeling a little bit low on energy, either physically or spiritually. You may be feeling low on energy. And so it's going to be a really important day for self-care. Basically, Sagittarius, for making sure that you're making yourself a priority and taking care of the things that you need to for yourself. In other words, don't give all your milk away to somebody else. Okay, so let's look at Capricorn on the 27th. What do we have showing up for Capricorn? Capricorn, there's something coming in about your knees, and this is kind of an unusual message for me. I usually don't get physical messages, but there's something coming in about your knees, and they feel like they're a little bit stiff or a little bit sore. For some of you, there may be something that is a little bit more intense than that. So if you have knee issues, try to be careful with them. If you don't have any issues, just be sure that you're not, twisting your legs in any kind of crazy ways. And just take care of yourself. But it does feel like there's some kind of issue coming up with knees. For most of you, I think it's going to be the left knee. There will be a few of the right, but I think the majority of you, 70 to 80%, it's going to be the left knee, because I'm feeling this way more in the left knee. For some of you, this is just going to be that arthritis is really bothering you in that left knee. By the way, what's great for arthritis? Reiki. Just saying. Okay, Aquarius. Let's move on to you guys for the 27th. Aquarius. You know, I sang for you guys yesterday too. That was odd. And you were the only ones yesterday and the only ones today, I think. Anyway, Aquarius. You guys are so creative. I really feel a lot of creative juices flowing for you on the 27th. I also feel like there's kind of a cloud that's like looming over you that's motivating you to use those creative juices. It's motivating you to do what you do best and make things happen that need to happen. Ms. Natalia, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. Thank you. I did some adjustments for the audio. Let's see. I thought it was all YouTube yesterday. I was wrong. It was me. Okay, so Aquarius. When I say I think that there's a cloud that is kind of motivating you to be as creative as you possibly can and create as much and do as much as you possibly can, to me, this might be something like maybe an art show coming up that you're trying to get ready for. This could be about that you have bills that you want to pay, so you feel like you need to produce. I feel like you really enjoy the production that you're doing for those of you who do creative stuff. And a lot of you Aquarians really are. So I don't feel like, even with this cloud that's motivating you to move quickly and to stick with it, I really don't feel like this is a bad time for you. I don't feel like, like you're feeling pressured or pushed. I think you're really enjoying the things that you're doing for those of you who are in something creative. Um, yeah, and that's what I'm going to focus on because that's really what's coming in the strongest here for my Aquarians. So if you don't relate, I'm sorry. Check where rising and moon signs or check back tomorrow. Mandy Media Mogul. You were here yesterday. Hello, hello. Glad to see you in the room again. Judy Beaverbones. I don't think I've seen you before. Glad to see you here, honey. Okay, let's look at Pisces really quickly. Pisces for the 27th. What do we have coming up? I get messages in the strangest ways. I'm hearing fishy, fishy, wishy, wishy. This is just basically telling me that tomorrow you're going to be spending a significant portion of your day thinking about how you wish things were. For some of you, this is going to be that you're wishing that things could go back to the way that they used to be. But for others of you, this is going to be more along the lines of doing that kind of law of attraction type creating of, wouldn't it be nice if blah, 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 fill in the blank. Okay. So fishy wishy, you guys are going to be making new wishes and throwing those pennies in the fountain tomorrow on the 27th. Okay, guys, so that is messages for all 12 signs. Let's do 5 minutes of Reiki for everybody here and for everybody who watches later. You guys who are not here at the moment, you will be able to receive the Reiki just as well as the people who are here. All you have to do is set the intention. I am going to be sending out the Reiki just for whatever will benefit you the most. If you have something particular that you would like the Reiki to work on, then you can always adjust my intention and ask the Reiki to work on that particular thing for yourself. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started here. Okay, and so while I'm sending the Reiki, if any of you have questions or if you happen to notice things that you're feeling in your body, or if you're having a change in emotions from before I started the Reiki to after, we can always talk about that. Where you have sensations in your body can be a good indication of where energy is actually shifting for you, and could give you an idea of what kind of changes to expect after. What is it that you hear all the time, honey? The fishy wishy? Got a lot of energy going out to you guys today. I would say the main section of you guys are getting some in your base chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus. We've got a lot of energy going into that whole area. And then a lot of you are getting energy into your legs, the upper legs, down to the knees, even into the ankles. Lots of good stuff. Base chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus. Base chakra has to do with security, home, family, work. So you would expect in that area, you would expect to see changes in that area. Oh, of going back to the way things were. Gotcha. Gotcha. I don't feel like all of you are trying to go back to the way things were, but I'd say maybe 40% is what I was picking up today. Let's see. Sacral chakra has to do with how things taste, smell, look to you, your perceptions of things. And solar plexus has to do with how you express yourself. So if you have energy going to either one of those places, you should expect changes in those areas of your life. Oh, that's why I'm feeling some legs. Someone in here with your legs hurting. So we've got energy going into those legs, especially, I don't know if this is, this is going to be for a whole bunch of different people. So I don't know if all of this particularly applies to you, Lisa, but we've got them going especially into those thighs, the hips, the knees, and then coming down into the ankles. Your security is feeling shaky. Yeah, that's really a great time to get some Reiki into that base chakra for sure. Your focus is home and taste is your biggie. Yep. And guys, I mean, this is a super, super, super short little burst of Reiki energy to you. For those of you who really want to make some changes in a more consistent way, I would recommend getting a Reiki treatment session. And you can see, how to get a hold of me at my website. My website's in the description box there. You have leg pain every night? Okay, so this may be partially going to you too. I like doing the Reiki and I like seeing what kind of results come out of it. That's always fun. Somebody in my very first class used Reiki for the first time. Was it yesterday? No, Tuesday night after the class. He had a game that he had to umpire, and he told me that always when he umpires a game, about halfway through it, one of his feet start really hurting badly, and then he ends up limping for like 3 days. And so he was doing Reiki on himself during the game. And just very discreetly, I'm sure nobody knew. And his foot didn't hurt at all. He woke up the next day, his foot still didn't hurt. I was like, yeah, you've got it. But it's always fun to watch the Reiki and to see what'll happen whenever we use it. Okay, then that's what we can have your intention set for, my dear, for the third eye and headaches. Headaches sometimes can take more than one session, so you may be somebody that wants to book like a series of sessions to help with headaches. Of course, the 5 minutes never hurts. I'm sure you'll see progress, but I would probably want to get more to get that under control that much more quickly, if it was me anyway. Okay, so that's 5 minutes of Reiki, guys. Your lips feel numb? Hmm. Did they just feel numb from the time I started sending the Reiki? Or did they feel numb before that? just when I started. Well, let's see. What do we do with our lips? We definitely express affection. They help us form our words. They definitely are a part of our expression in the world. So this is going to be helping you. I think what I would think from this, and I'm just kind of guessing because there's no hard and fast formula with this, but I would say that you're going to be finding it easier to express yourself in the world, which is interesting. Usually we have throat energy around that, but the lips would be really in refining that self-expression in the world. So we are finished with Reiki, guys. So whatever you want to ask about, we have 5 more minutes before I take off. So if you want to ask about psychic stuff, if you want to ask simple little questions for me to read, I don't mind reading simple questions here. If it's something that's really involved, I'm probably going to suggest that you actually get a live reading just because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time reading something really personal and private here when other people could be asking questions that I could be helping with too. You're quite welcome, Lisa. So if you have questions about, like if you have a haunted house or your own spiritual growth or how I found out I was a psychic or whatever, we can talk about good apple pie recipes. I don't care what we talk about really right now. This is just your chance to kind of get to know me a little bit better. That is really good, Anissa. In just 5 minutes, that is great. And if you want to, Anissa, you can go back and replay the part of the Reiki part over if you want to. And you will still get more energy out of that too, even out of a replay. You're quite welcome. And that goes for anybody else too. If you feel like you need more and you just really can't book a session with me or whatever, go ahead and feel free to replay this as often as you need to, where I'm actually transmitting the Reiki. You'll be able to pull juice out of it every time. Spirit is not limited by time or by space. What else shall we talk about? That's way cool, Vanessa. You're going to redo the Reiki part. Well, there are physical reasons for having ringing in the ears that, you don't really want to rule those out until you've actually ruled those out. I can tell you that I have ringing in my ears that comes and goes. And when I went into meditation about it a couple of years ago, what I was told was that I was hearing energy patterns from the spirits that were around me. And I know, like, when I got ready to teach my Reiki class, there was lots of that going on. And I had asked for lots of help to make sure that that class went really well for the people there. So I'm sure I had a lot of energetic support, and that's what I was hearing. So you want to kind of pay attention to when are you feeling it more in a more heightened way, and see if that is something that makes sense for you. But also you would want to have that checked out with your doctor too the next time you go in for a physical. Pain around the third eye, I would say probably does. But once again, you want to check with your doctor with that because you do want to rule out any physical symptoms. You don't want to have something really bad going on and you think you're awakening and then you find out something like terrible later. So always, always, always have things checked out completely on the physical level before you just assume that it's a spiritual thing. But I do know people who are going through awakening and they would have really bad headaches sometimes. That's funny, Lisa. GSJ Mac. I am an Aquarius and have a job interview tomorrow. Any point I should be aware of. Be as professional as you possibly can, especially in what you're wearing, GSJ, because whoever it is that you're interviewing with, that's like one of their pet peeves. If somebody is not as professional as they could be for an interview, they take that as meaning, well, if you can't put that much effort to dress decently for an interview, then you're certainly not going to put effort into the job, and they will be like, see you later, bye. So dress as professionally as you possibly can. Make sure you present yourself professionally. I know that's really basic stuff, but that's somebody's pet peeve in there that you're going to be seeing. Was your mom a really good cook? Does it smell like her food, Lisa? Right? Don't forget your starch. If your mom was a really good cook and this smells like her food, I would say absolutely that's your mom saying, hey, 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 don't forget about me. Hey there, Ms. Chris. Welcome, welcome. Well, then that's definitely your mom. It's interesting that you dreamed about her the first time in 20 years, but I think as we go through things in our lives, we start to acknowledge our parents more, and we also start to understand them more because we witnessed them going through these parts of their lives, and we didn't really get it. And then when we start to go through those periods ourselves, then we're like, oh, like that's why she wanted to turn the air conditioner so low all the time, or whatever it might happen to be. Yeah, that's because you're smelling it psychically. She's just sending that message just to you. Yep. Very cool, Chris. That sounds fantastic. Okay, guys, my time is up for here for today. It's time for me to get on with the rest of the day. Thank you all so much for coming in and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it when you all do that because it makes it so much more interesting and fun for me. Everyone, have a fantastic, wonderful, thrilling, and peaceful day. Peace out.